Hello, my name is Skylar Lynch, and I am a junior at Lee Wright High School. The topic for my persuasion speech is cheerleading is a sport. Have you ever played a sport? Do you still? If so, we have something in common, or at least some people think so. I am a competition cheerleader at my high school. Some people classify cheer as a sport, however, several do not. However, competition cheerleading is a sport and is proven so through personal experience and proven facts. Many people get competition cheer mixed up with sideline cheer. Sideline cheer is a standstill activity where spirited members cheer on their team or school. I agree with most when they say that sideline cheerleading is not a sport. Having participated in sideline as well, that says a lot. However, I strongly believe that competition cheerleading is a sport. According to www.aacca.org, their definition of a sport is classified in 4 points. Point number 1. A physical activity which involves propelling a mass through space or overcoming the resistance of a mass. Point number 2. Contesting or competing against or with an opponent. Point number 3. Governed by rules which explicitly define the time, space, and purpose of the contest and the conditions under which a winner is declared. And point number 4. Acknowledged primary purpose for the competition is a comparison of the relative skills of the participants. For those of you who are not familiar with competition cheer, it is a very complex sport. As stated in an article focusing on cheerleading on www.nfhs.org, competition cheer is available to high school students all over the nation, 5,358 high schools in total. Approximately 125,763 student athletes participate in high school competition cheer. Unlike regular sports where two teams face off each other and head-on in a game, competition cheerleaders have to perform against several other teams, and they have to show the judges what they have to offer in under 2 minutes and 30 seconds, according to www.vhsl.org. What most people don't understand is that cheerleading is hardcore. There are several different categories in which the judges judge you on, such as jumps, stunts, tumbling, motions, technique, execution, your cheer, and several other factors. Stunting, along with tumbling, puts a lot of stress on your body mentally and physically. People also do not know how long and how often competition cheerleaders practice. The spring is when competition starts up. Even though comp season doesn't start until the fall, we get started early. Comp cheerleaders practice all throughout the summer, every day of the week, and go to camps or workshops every other Saturday. Practices throughout the week can last from 3 to 6 hours at the most, following with all-day camps on the weekends. The cheerleaders also have tumbling classes which they need to attend on their own time, having classes about once or twice a week, going from an hour to an hour and a half. Competition cheer practices just as much as any other sport in our school, if not more. And yet, cheerleaders are still viewed as a wannabe sport. Is your view of comp cheer starting to change? Some people say that all we do is jump up and down and yell hurrah. Just to clarify, we don't say hurrah. We do, however, cheer and project our voices using our diaphragm, which if you have ever tried to do after throwing girls in the air, catching them, and then flipping yourself across the mat and to yell with a loud, deep voice, it's not that easy. Also, according to www.usaa.edu, cheerleading is the number 1 ranked female sport for injuries and number 2 in catastrophic injuries. Actually, as stated in this article on the website, one learns that falls from gymnastic-like activities can cause more catastrophic damage than being tackled by a professional football player. I do agree with skeptics stating that the argument that just an activity that has several injuries does not make it a sport. However, the fact that cheerleaders are prone to so many injuries, you have to wonder maybe the things these girls are doing isn't so easy. If you still think or say that competitive cheerleading is not a sport, then why should cheerleaders be required to meet the sport requirements of the school? If you do not think it should be classified as a sport, why should cheerleaders have to obtain good grades? Why should cheerleaders have to stay on good school standings or even have good attendance? I think if we have to meet the same academic requirements like the rest of the sports, then we should be respected as a sport. By now you should, if you did not already, see competitive cheer as a sport. Based on the information and the facts you now have, you should be able to see that competitive cheer meets all the requirements one needs to be designed as a sport. Now that you understand competitive cheerleading a little more, you should view comp cheer in a whole new perspective, based on the facts presented earlier. Executive Director of AACCA and former University of Kentucky cheerleader once said in an article found on www.varsity.com, "Respect is earned, and there are plenty of teams that get it by doing what they're supposed to do, and by being a good role model."